everyone, welcome to the new video. So today we will see about creating the YAML file which are minimum required for deploying an application on Kubernetes. So let's go. If we see that for deploying any application on a cluster or any server, we in previous video we saw that what minimum YAML files we will need. So first of all, to run any application, we need a Docker image of that application. So first, we should have a Docker file created. Once our Docker file is ready, we in our pipeline, we should write the commands of Docker build to build the Docker image. Once suppose this is our Docker file, so we will have the commands like docker build hyphen t and whatever tag you want to give. After, so once our Docker image is ready, we push the Docker image after, so, so, uh, for creating the Docker image, the commands are like if we want that Docker build hyphen t and whatever, we want to give the tag to our image, and then we will give Docker push my app will leave it. So we can push it to whatever URL or artifactory or wherever we are going to keep our Docker images. So after, you know, building our Docker image and everything, we have to keep our YAML files, our application YAML files. So first of all, we have seen that we should have a deployment or YAML. So in deployment YAML, we will give that what will be the name of our deployment. We will give my app. How much the specification? In specification, we'll give that there should be two replicas of our deployments. Okay, labels. Then specification of containers, that which image this container is going to use. The pod. So pod inside the pod, the container will run and it will use one image. So you have to give the URL of the image. So suppose if it is a private repository, because in organization we don't keep the images in public repository, so you have to mention the image full secrets. So this can be mentioned inside this, and image full secrets are the secrets which we are going to use to fetch the image from the repository. So this secrets can be created and it can be kept in in your cluster only, and those secrets could be used to pull the image from the repository, and that can be used if it's a private repository. So what is about env value, that I'll explain later. Now comes the uh, service.yaml. So service.yaml, when our pods are getting created, so how our pod will do the communication, because minimum two replicas we have said. So two replicas will be created. So how our pod are going to do communication, how nodes are going to do communication. There will be worker nodes, and pod will be getting created. So for that we are creating the service. So for this service kind, the service name is given as my app service, and for which application, so this my app. So if you see how this service is getting attached to our deployment, because we have given the app select in selector, we have given the deployment my app. So it will identify, okay, for this application the service is going to be created. We've given the target port and the node port, so we can access in through this node port. If we'll do kubectl get svc command, if we'll do this, we'll get the service, and through that, using that port, we can access our service. Then probes, then config map.yaml. So if we want to keep any secret and that a pod is going to utilize it, so we can keep it in config.yaml. The data can be kept. The only difference is in config map.yaml the data is not encoded. In secret.yaml it is the data is encoded. Whatever the value is, that will be encoded. And that data, if our pod is going to use, we need to define it in env. So under env, this is what. So under env key, we have to define the value and from where it should refer that value. So it should refer the value from, suppose, config map.yaml. So what name and what value, like what is the value name, so that we should give. Okay. And then it should refer the config map.yaml and what key in config map.yaml it should refer, that we need to give. So that's how config map or secret.yaml will be getting used by bots. Then we need to define the props that that will check in 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds it will check that our app is healthy or not. So that we can define. It depends. Then we need to define the HP, so horizontal pod autoscaler. So name of the pod autoscaler we have given my app HP. So it will be applied on my app deployment and it will check for the average utilization of CPU. The threshold is 50. If the CPU utilization go above 50, then we need to create the more replicas, but it should not exceed more than 5. So we have to set minimum and max replicas. So I hope why you don't get confused that why so many names key are used. So this name is for this horizontal pod autoscaler and this name is for the deployment on which the horizontal pod autoscaler will be configured. So I hope things are a little bit clear. We'll try to apply these YAMLs on Minikube in my next video, so it will be more clear to every one of you. But we'll do it by kubectl apply -f and we are going to apply it. So these are by the commands and that we are going to do manually. Same commands for deployment, we can create a pipeline and we can do these commands. So yeah, that's all for today's video.
That's all for today's video. I hope it's helpful. Please let me know your views in the comment section. Till then, take care. Bye.